いうか、 a nice hillside that is. We're at the hillside of Mount Fuji. We're here in Fuji, Shizuoka for round 3 of the 2022 Hololive GT3 Japan Series postseason. And what a nice day this is. You can see the sun shining across the racetrack here. It's a bright sunny day. Everyone's smiling and cheering here at the moment. And you can see here our 35 Hololive GT3 cars are vying for those 22 spots in the main race. And the track that we'll be racing at is none other than Fuji Speedway. We're talking about a track a total of 4.5 kilometers in length, 16 corners in total, a mix of fast corners and long straights as well as slow corners. It means that any car manufacturer in Hololive GT3 could have a chance to exploit these areas to great effect and gain a lot of lap time and speed. We're looking at 44 laps of racing here in Fuji in the main race, or we'll be racing 22 laps in the qualifying races first. We also want to look at the target laps of maybe 142.573 after we have revised the tires once again to make sure everyone is more equal on performance as it is. Whatever the case is, for all of these cars, not all of this should be thrown out the window, because if you can deliver as you can, you're going to be out of it entirely. Now obviously we have basically a similar entry list from basically the first 3 rounds, from the first few rounds actually, since round 2, because we now have Aquamarine Jensen, but obviously the entry list doesn't basically explain that, so that is a bit of a shame. So like we mentioned, SND still has not been replaced by Aquamarine Jensen in the Minato Aqua Nissan, so the screen doesn't basically show the updated info. Apologies on that. Whatever the case is, we're about to get this race underway, but first, one more thing we need to show you is basically we need to show you guys about the championship standings after Suzuka and heading into Fuji. As you can see here, with Lorenzo Ricci basically being inside the points in the last round compared to Hofuma, who was out of the points. Hofuma has dropped from the championship lead to 2nd, and Daniel Bauer, after winning at Suzuka last time by, he's currently 3rd in the championship standings, and with Aquamarine Jensen also showing up in the Minato Aqua Nissan, the number 9 finally shows its pace, currently 4th in the championship standings. On air as well in the Natsura Matsuri Lexus, showing a lot of pace there, the number 7. Ricky Rod as well, Anthony MNL. Now, Akihata has dropped a lot of support for Hololive GT3 these past few months and all that stuff. So, obviously, we'd like to thank Akihata for her assistance with the series. That the Akihata car, driven by Anthony MNL, is currently 7th in the championship standings. And then we also have Hans-Henrik Heinz, Wawan Hardo, and Andrew Takula running out the top 10. And here you see the rest of the field. If you can see, after Chazan not being able to qualify for the main race last time, but he now drops down to 15th. Sergei Petrov is showing a good amount of pace, but he hasn't been able to show much of it last time by at Suzuka, so he's down 16th. Same goes with Jeff Clark, Sean Pauly, Tony Bazinga, Shaki Reza. Ben Ripton has some pace, but didn't have the pace when he needed the most, so he's going to sit 21st. And now we have also want to mention about basically the 12 drivers who have yet to score points. Some of them haven't even actually qualified for the main race as of yet, so watch out for them, as there may be an upset coming into the qualifying sessions and into the qualifying races. As we're about to get this qualifying session underway, we welcome you to the stream. Welcome on board, everyone. We're about to get the 7 minutes of qualifying underway. I am Muhammad Shadan Riza, and alongside me is Wawan Harto, as well as Zeke Wimberley in the commentary booth. So welcome you two to the stream. Welcome to the commentary booth. How are your feelings heading into this qualifying session?
Yeah, I'm actually doing pretty well this fine afternoon. I'm in my bedroom. It's pretty hot, but I think I can manage for this entire race. How about you, Zeke?
I want points. Well, I mean, I'm doing fine. It's about 10 p.m. my time. Nice night race. My siblings are still up. I apologize for any noise in the background, but I think it's going to be an amazing race today.
So right now, good to know of your guys' thoughts heading into this the qualifying sessions right now. And obviously, the 31 Himari Luna Honda failed to qualify the previous race at Suzuka. So obviously, Chazan needed to basically make up for that fumble with a dominating performance performance here in Suzuka, and Shazin Reza might be able to do just that. And obviously, we're talking about myself in this, so obviously, just qualifying will be nice, but also you need to finish inside the points in the main races. So obviously, there's a lot to fight for. But whatever the case is, qualify inside the top 8, and you will qualify in the main race by qualifying by the qualifying session. Other than that, if you qualify 9th or below, you're gonna have to race your way into the main race and the qualifying races. And in the qualifying races, you have to finish 6th or higher to qualify into the main race.
Okay.
Oh, you continue.
Okay, that's good to hear. That's very good to hear. I'm looking forward to this qualifying race, as it's already 1 p.m. my time, and I think the race is about to start.
Well, but before the race will even begin, we'll need to talk about this qualifying session here. Speaking of this qualifying session here is Alex Grant on the main straight, number 57, Amane Kanata Nissan. So obviously, let's go on board a lap in the PP Tenshi car, the number 57, carrying Amane Kanata's name, Alex Grant representing her. Alex Grant into the first corner using that straight line speed at the full effect brake into the 150 meter for. Okay, he may be taking it a bit easy there, heading into turn 1, but obviously you need a good exit into turns 2 and into Coca-Cola corner. Brake between 150 and 75 meter boards right about here. Just carrying enough speed, it's a bit off camber there. And there you have this long right-hander. Obviously, it doesn't suit the Nissans there. I believe that Lexus can go about 180 and 185 with only manual 170. Right just before the total billboard into, I believe, turn 7 and into basically turns 8 and 9. Just try to get a good arc into it. Basically, ideally, you don't want to put your throttle off. Brake just as you pass the Dunlop billboard into the aforementioned Dunlop chicane. Alex Grant solidly into the tight twisty section of the Dunlop chicane and into the tight twisty third sector. This is where the Nissans kind of struggle, but obviously they're holding on quite okay-ish at the moment. Remember, the 57 car qualified on pole last March. Will Alex Grant repeat the same thing? And while he's getting to the final two turns 15 and 16. On air, and Hans-Henri Klein set the provisional lap times of 1:43.209. Hans-Henri Klein's 6/10 behind the number 7's lap time. As Alex Grant takes it into the main straight, that's basically his qualifying lap done. Let's see where Alex Grant ends up. 1:44.983 for Alex Grant. Very solid lap there for the representative of PP Tenshi.
Qualifyings are always so interesting, as it's not just about like passing other people, it's really anyone's game, as it's just fastest lap gets pole position. It's always just a wonder to see somebody come out from nowhere to just take like the pole position. It's always fun to watch, and Alex Grant also has been just shown to be repeatedly just an absolute stalwart defender. I am looking forward to seeing what he has to offer this race.
Okay, so right now, good to know that Alex Grant is trying to give out the performance as he does, but right now, there's a bit of a traffic here at the moment between Gosoro and Shazin Reza. Again, Shazin Reza was basically knocked out into the qualifying races because he was stuck in traffic. Now Shazin Reza is basically stuck in traffic again. It's going to be very imperative for Shazin to basically clear his Honda teammate Yoso Hernandez in the Sakura Miko car to ensure his spot into the main race. Now obviously Yoso also wants a good performance as well. We don't know about basically Hernandez's performance here at the moment. He is a bit down, but Shazin Reza is gaining by around close to 5 seconds. Let's see if Shazin Reza can make it in. Let's see what he can do. It will be a lap time of about a 1:42.478. Shazin Reza is currently inside the top 8 needed positions to make it into the main race tomorrow.
Well, he just has to keep that position for about another minute, so I would argue that he has a guaranteed spot into the main race, which is very nice to see, but he could potentially score better. It really depends on his mate in front of him.
And right now, Bon Air is currently pitted. He's currently 8th place. He's currently in the hot seat. Obviously, if any driver slower than him set a faster lap time, it will be Bon Air on the outside looking in. And meanwhile, we have Ricky Contreras setting only a 13th best lap time. Lorenzo Ricci setting the 2nd best lap time. And look at Anthony Emmanuel. We also wanted to mention that he has the provisional fastest lap of this qualifying session. Remember, Akaihato being the standing supporter for Hololive GT3, always there for the car, and basically see the strongest idol support the strongest car in the field right now. What a poem! What poetry we're seeing here at the moment. And Sean Pauli basically bumps Bon Air down to 9th.
Sean Pauli coming out of just about nowhere. I don't think she was even in the top 18. This is just why I find qualifying races to be so interesting. You see people from the bottom just get immediately to the top. It's amazing to see such things happen in such a short period of time, like 7 minutes or so.
We are seeing more drivers completing their laps. Joseph Hernandez makes it into the main race with only a 1/10 of a second of a lap time behind Anthony Emmanuel. Alice Grant qualifies 12th. It's not going to be enough for him. We only have 8 cars left out on the track. Tacos Land is also in a very good position to qualify into the main race. He will qualify inside 2nd. He is now only basically 700s behind Anthony Emmanuel. That's a very good performance from him. Lorenzo Ricci also showing some solid pace in these qualifying sessions to make it in by speed alone. And as you can see here, Jake Fox as well doing very well to get him inside 8th. So I don't think he will do much right now, as he will qualify inside the top 8. Lorenzo Ricci, fastest lap of the session so far.
Well, I just want to pay attention to the fact that, of course, Shazzy Reza and Shakif Reza got places right next to each other. They just can't be separated, can they?
Well, we're talking about the sibling relationships. So right now it's very nice to see the Reza siblings qualifying 5th and 6th. So obviously we're going to go into the rundown of the first 8 cars that qualify into the main race in this split A side of things. So right now we're taking a look into Lorenzo Ricci. Number 41 Hoshimaki Susei Nissan manages to qualify by pure speed alone with a very solid lap time of a 1:41.632. Absolutely demolishes our lap time expectations. So good job to Lorenzo Ricci for being the fastest in split A. Anthony Emmanuel, with Akihato's support, qualifies in the front row. Well, not like in the front row. Also makes it into the main race. Very good stuff there from the Filipino. And Otako's and Yasuki Nissan also showing very well in these qualifying races, and also in the main race last time by Suzuka. So very good stuff from Taco's and Joseph Hernandez qualified outside of the top 8 in last time's split A qualifying, and then got crashed out on lap 1 by Tony Bazinga, and I believe Zeke Wimberly as well. So nice to see him coming back from the ranks, to see him in 4th. And we also want to talk about Shazzy Reza as well. After him being knocked out of the main race last time, but he now qualifies it by speed. So very good stuff there from Shazzy Reza to make it in. And then also Shaki Reza, his 2nd straight main race appearance by qualifying speed. So good job there from the Reza family to make it into the main race by speed. And Sean Pauli, very good stuff from him. Very solid pace that he's got. Manages to qualify by pace alone as well. And Jake Fox, for the 2nd time running, he will be inside the main race by speed alone. So we're also going to be talking about the guys who are going to have to make it to basically get inside the top 6 of the main qualifying races to advance into the main race. First of all, Hans-Heinrich Heinz, Rolls-Royce Lexus. He needs to have a good run in the qualifying races, qualify in the front, and hope that his strategy doesn't mess up with him. So he has a long way to do for being the first guy on the outside looking in. Bon Air as well. finished second last time at Suzuka. Doesn't translate well at Fuji. It'll be interesting to see how he will perform in basically this race. So basically, here's Bon Air wanting to qualify for a spot in the main race. So we have the 48 and the 7 basically inside the top, basically inside the top 10, but with them being 9 to 10, they'll be on the outside looking in. Here we have Daniel Blotham and Alex Grant. An Oreo combination between the two. Neither of them have been hasn't made it into the main race yet. They need to go to the qualifying races in order to make it in. Alex Bond was the fastest in Split A qualifying in Suzuka. Now on the outside looking in at Fuji. So Alex Bond has a lot of work needed for her to get herself inside the main race. Ben Ripton ripped it in the qualifying races. Will we see a repeat of Ben Ripton in basically the next race? Basically in the qualifying races, we'll have to wait and see. And then we have Ricky Contreras in the Lapless Darkness Honda. Again, he was there in the qualifying race, so we'll see if Ricky Contreras can deliver on promise as well. Same goes for Richie Rod. He basically manages to stay out of trouble and basically make it into the main race by finishing inside the top 6 in the qualifying races. Aside for Trey Nigerton as well, not showing much of a promise there despite having a championship winning car. And Tim Inno, last on the field right now in the Omar Volkan Nissan, has his work cut out, basically qualifying outside basically the rest of the field at the moment. I'm thinking why Cypher Trinity is in Split A qualifying where he should be in Split B. Okay, whatever the case is, Cypher is basically disqualified in Split A qualifying and will have to basically take part in Split B qualifying. Whoopsies. So obviously with Split A qualifying over with, we're going to get into the Split B portion of the session so far. Obviously it's been quite an interesting session as it stands. But first of all, we need to load basically the names, basically all that stuff. So basically, Zeke, what are your thoughts of this Split A qualifying session?
Very interesting to see. I saw a lot of rising, falling, as you usually do in a qualifying round. But I'd say it was very interesting. I say that the qualifying definitely looked a lot different than last time, at least to me anyway. But we'll see if whoever didn't get in the top 8, see if they can, their medal is good enough, for the main track.
Oh yeah, so right now we're going to load basically load the next race here at the moment. Well, not actually the race. We're going to load Split B qualifying, and this time we have Cybertree Nikitin again. We apologize if we see Cybertree Nikitin making it into the Split A qualifying session. We're about to get the Split B1 underway to see the next 8 drivers basically making it by speed alone. So right now we have Thomas Nukes, the first guy out on track, and Shishiro Bolta Lexus.
Hey.
Continue.
Okay, so we're starting off with Snooks with the black and white car. I can't really see what it says. Okay,
it's the Bordeaux. The Bordeaux is currently the Bordeaux's in the Watami car.
Okay. Bordeaux is in Watami car. It's looking nice yellow color and mixed with the white, and you can see the sun reflecting of its car. It's just gorgeous. Yeah, I think I'm very looking forward to the race. I hope everybody will do their best and may the best wins this race.
And right now we're taking a look into some of the other contenders here at the moment. Raja Kaczynski, solid in Suzuka. Let's see if he can deliver the wrong promise at Fuji. And also we want to talk about basically DePorto and Snooks. DePorto and Snooks have yet to score a point in the postseason, and they haven't qualified for a spot in Suzuka. Maybe we'll see a change in fate for basically the Shishiwata cars.
Speaking of Shishiwata, I was actually hoping for podium about the Shishiro Botan and Tame card, but let's see if my dreams can come true, shall they?
Okay, so basically we're going to go on an outboard lap here at the moment as we're about to basically take a scan here some of the other cards. Well, one Tuarto, very solid in the first 2 rounds of the season. He has a very solid car at the moment. Let's see if he can have a good car to make it into the top 8 of this qualifying session to advance into the main race.
Yeah, I'm looking forward as my own car is on the 7th place. I hope he can be higher and at least keep his position and not get taken over by other players. But that's not for me to decide.
Well, we'll have to wait and see as the cars take to the track. Juan Suarto's car on a flyer right now on basically getting his hot lap done. Let's see if he can have a very solid pace there. Obviously, the sun is slowly setting in Fuji Speedway, and right now it's very, like you mentioned, it's a very beautiful looking track here with the sun setting by on the right side there. And as you can see, wall 1. Obviously, there is no representative lap times as of yet. Let's see where he goes. It's a very solid for a sector, 23.8 for the division as he heads into basically turn 6. He's into turn 6. Let's see. Okay, a bit of a... Okay, it looks very solid. Doesn't look like he's understeering and oversteering.
Oh, yeah, you go.
Alright. So far, looking at his sector times, at least for now, he seems to be setting a very, very good lap right about now with a 16.851 first sector with best as of right now in scoring. Pretty decent lap times overall. I guarantee you this is going to be a very good lap for Suharto.
But right now we're also going to be taking a look into Kizuhara Leo. Kizuhara Leo just setting the provisional fastest lap time of a 142.141, so very good stunt in from Leo. Obviously he has some track in front of him, but I don't think it will mind him too much. I mean, while Suharto is barreling down the main straight, he got his tires warmed up, he's got everything fired up for him. Let's see where he stands at the moment as more drivers complete their laps. A bit slow there, 143.98, and Sergei Petrov delivers yet again with a 42.812. Jeff Clark shows his pace with the fastest second sector. Make that hopeful my with the fastest outright. He now sets a fastest lap of 141.144. The goddess car, the Tokinosora Nissan, is unbeatable as it stands. And look at Callum Gibbons. Obviously, he's currently out with gastrics right now, and to see him qualify inside the top 8 by speed is a very nice sight to see.
Well, it's a very... Oh, continue. Sorry, keep interrupting.
Okay, following with the fastest lap time is really good. And we're seeing other races are competing. I'm pretty sure they're pretty much sweating in their cars right now, thinking, oh, I'm not gonna make this lap. No, I'm gonna be faster than the top 8 to get into the main race. And that is the beauty of this race. We will never know. Anything can happen. You know, that's the beauty of it.
And right now, Zeke Wimberly is not having the best of fast lap times. Unfortunately, he will have a very subpar lap time at the moment. Only 16 fastest for Zeke Wimberly. Meanwhile, Aquamarine Jensen again qualifies inside the top 8. Vassilia bumps Jeff Clark onto the outside looking in.
Well, it seems Aquamarine Jensen got the Rookie of the Year award. He is just doing amazing for these past 2 races he's just been in. He's just been dominating the field. For a new entrant, I'd argue that would be absolutely amazing feats done by Aquamarine Jensen. I am certainly looking forward to more.
And right now, Aquamarine Jensen looking very solidly there, but right now they're fighting for the best of the rest just to try to make sure they're qualified inside the top 8. Ofumar has nothing to worry about. He set an absolute loss over a lap time, 141.144, to make it into the main race by speed alone. So right now, Aquamarine Jensen is stuck behind traffic there. He needs to probably try to overtake the Porto. The Porto is also on the outside looking in. He's currently in 11. But meanwhile, we also have Aquamarine Jensen on the inside looking out. Meanwhile, we want to see Tony Bazinga. Tony Bazinga is currently 12. He needs to bump Vasilyev off if he wants to make it by speed alone. Gibbons is currently in a safe spot right now. Very solid first sector. Let's see if he can deliver on the second sector.
You can go.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was drinking with him. Okay, you see Carl Gibbons with Scar. That's a little bit understeering right there. And we're seeing two cars are added in the track. Going straight up to the next turn.
Okay, so nice to see that. Okay, but here's the thing. Alcamarin Jensen and Mercedes Wonderboard were battling side by side, but the board is not going to be enough. He's going to have to qualify in the qualifying race for him to have any shot of making it into the main race. Meanwhile, Adak-RMS sets the third fastest lap time. Very good stuff from him. He was knocked out of the qualifying races. Now he's in the main race by qualifying speed alone. Callum Gibbons sees that no one is improving, so Callum Gibbons just peels in into the pit lane. Callum Gibbons sets the 6th fastest lap time and therefore is inside the main race. Daniel Bauer, last time out at Suzuka, he was the winner, but Daniel Bauer sees no point in continuing, so Bauer peels in into the pit. But for Andrew Rahimbayev, there could be something left in the tank, but I don't think it will be enough for Rahimbayev because, as you can see, when his sector times add up, he will not have the best lap times to have at the moment, and therefore he will have to try to qualify into the main race by finishing inside the top 6 in the qualifying races. And Rahimayev does bump a few guys out, but unfortunately he is out of it, so obviously there's that. And actually we also want to mention about this as well. Remember Hofumai having a very solid run in qualifying. Let's talk about some of the other guys here. Obviously we have Hofumai in the Tokinosura Nissan setting the next fast lap time in the Nissan. Very good stuff there from Fubai. Kizuhara Leo manages to get inside a second of Hofumai's lap time to qualify second. Very good stuff there from Kizuhara Leo. Adak-RMS will qualify third in the number 61 Takane Louis Nissan with Honda. So good stuff there from Adak-RMS to represent his Oshi well. Plaza Damasha finally makes it into the main race for a shot at points and maybe even a race win. Alcamarin Jensen is in his basically in his second appearance in Hololive GT3 in a round. Very solid run from him to qualify fifth in the Minato Aquanistan. Callum Gibbons gets the comeback that he deserves basically in the number 64 Roboco Lexus. He is in the main race by speed alone, so great stuff there for Callum Gibbons despite his health issues. Sergei Petrov as well. Very solid there in the number 5 Nekomata Nissan. Shows a very solid amount of pace in the qualifying races and showed very well in the program, but in the main race at Suzuka he just fell off, so let's see if things can change next time by tomorrow. So Sergei Petrov will get into the next race tomorrow, so nice to see. And then we also want to talk about the last driver out to make it into the qualifying race by speed alone, Catherine Vasilyev. She did very well there on basically her only hot lap of the session, basically with a 142.848, bumps Jeff Clark out of the on the safe zone. So Catherine Vasilyev, great stuff there for her to finally be able to challenge for points for once. So yeah, that's Catherine Vasilyev inside the main race. But unfortunately, we also wanted to talk about the guys on the outside looking in. Jeff Clark, the number 18 Nakayama Lexus, needs to deliver on the qualifying race for him to make it into the main race. Daniel Bauer won last time in Suzuka. He's gonna have to fight back into the main race the hard way. And then we have Mateus won the Porto again in the Tsunamaki Watami Lexus. Has been showing his best recently in the Tsunamaki Watami Lexus. So he is currently gonna try to work hard to get himself back into the main race. So let's see what he can do. Tony Bazinga in the Kazamai Roha Nissan will also need to qualify his way to the main race, as does Thomas Dukes in the Shiro Botan Lexus. and Rahimbayev as well in the upcoming Mio Honda side for Trinidad. This time it's certain that Trinidad will have to qualify inside the top 6 for the to basically get some chance for the main race. A contender for the win there, or at least the podium, Raji Kaczynski qualified in the front row in the main race at Suzuka last time by. He's currently on the outside looking in, heading into the qualifying race, Raji Kaczynski. Ross Farto as well. And this is sure I know he played on this end. Obviously he has his work cut out. He needs to do a bit more to get into the main race. And also Zeke Wimberly. Unfortunately, he hasn't been showing as much as he can at the moment. He's currently the last guy out. So obviously with that out of the way, we're going to transition over into basically the bulk of the show, which is basically the qualifying races. So for both of you, Wawan and Zeke, I want to hear your thoughts heading into the main race. The qualifying races.
Hey, this qualifying race is just gonna be the last qualifying race, right?
Well, it will be the it will be the qualifying races, and then that will be over for the day. We will be continuing tomorrow for the main race tomorrow.
Okay, I'm looking forward to this final qualifying race. As we can see, the drivers, especially the Hofu Mai, if I remember correctly, got the first place. If I remember, he's representing Tokinosora, right?
Yes, he represents Tokinosora, correct.
Okay, it's gonna be a good day for Sora fans if he manages to keep that position. And as for the others, I hope for the best and may the best win. How about you, Zeke?
I'd just like to point out both the co-commentators in this booth got 17th and 18th, which is just purely coincidental. But more importantly ever, I am looking forward to a amazing race heading into here, and maybe we'll get some action going into here. Sure hope. So last race was awesome.
Yeah, last race is awesome indeed, and you want to hear my thoughts of the qualifying races. It's nice to see the 31 car finally making it into the main race after being knocked out last time by Suzuka. Obviously, we have seen some surprise guys who have yet to qualify into the main race, particularly last time's race winner, Daniel Bauer in the Yozora Mel Lexus. So obviously he has his work cut out, but also we have seen some good surprises. Catherine Vasilyev, if I'm not mistaken, is in the bottom 5 of the championship standings in the postseason and manages to get herself up into a position to basically qualify inside the main race. So obviously hats off to basically Catherine Vasilyev, and also Vladislav Domashnev. Vladislav Domashnev hasn't had some solid amounts of pace as it stands at the moment, and also a few guys who have basically had a surprise knockout. And right now, we want to reiterate that right now it's Lorenzo Ricci. Basically the 16 cars who are qualified by pure pace alone in the qualifying session. So it's basically Lorenzo Ricci, Anthony Emanuel, and then we also have Andrew Tacosled. We also want to mention Majin Zero after this. And then Yosoro Hernandez, that's basically your top 4. And then covering 5th to 8th, Muhammad Sharon Reza in the Himamori Luna Honda, like I mentioned, he has been showing a lot of promise there so far. And then we have Akif Reza in the Momosa Sunden and Nissan, also showing good potential. As we mentioned, that the Reza siblings have been quite performing in recent times so far. As you can see here, we've mentioned these guys are basically inseparable. And then we also have Sean Pauli making it into the main race. Very good stuff for Sean Pauli, showing that championship winning drive that Sean Pauli has possessed as well. And Jake Fox does a very good job qualifying inside the top 8 for the second time this season. And then moving into Split B, we also want to talk about Ho Fumai and the surprise Kizuhara Leo about actually trying to challenge Ho Fumai for a spot. And then we had Catherine Vasilyev as well, but she's basically the last seed at the moment. And then we also want to talk about the 61 car of the Alikan Aster. He does very well there to finally make it into the main race after being knocked out last time by, as well as Vladislav Domashnev, also on the bottom 5 of the standings, catches up to make sure he gets into the main race by speed. He doesn't have to qualify in the qualifying race. He doesn't have to race his way into the main race. Aquamarine Jensen, as we said, again, a rookie that delivers. So very good stuff there from the Minato Aqua Nissan. So Aquamarine Jensen gets a thumbs up from all of us. Callum Gibbons as well, despite having a gastric issue. So he manages to get into the main race by speed as well as Sergei Petrov and Katerin Vasilyev. So basically, those are basically the 16 cars that have qualified. 6. Okay, so we're going to need to clear some of the few guys left to make sure that we have this qualifying race underway. Okay, so we're gonna be looking into the remaining drivers here. We have Daniel Bauer, Richie Rod, Bon Air, Jeff Clark, Hans-Henrik Heinz, Wawan Suharto, Alex Bowen, Andrew Rahimbayev actually also needs to qualify into the main race. So obviously, we need to make sure that Rahimbayev makes it into the let's see if Rahimbayev can make it into the main race in the qualifying races as well, as we're about to do some final adjustments before we're gonna get this qualifying session for the qualifying race underway. But basically, we have 19 drivers left. Who do you think are the favorites heading into the qualifying races?
Himbayev, no doubt, brother.
Rahimbayev. Well, I can never doubt Rahimbayev's drive for basically trying to get into getting into the field, all that stuff. So yeah, we're about to get this thing underway. The qualifying session for the qualifying races. Here is the money rate that we want to talk about. So hang on, we need to skip this session in order to properly load the qualifying session. So here it is, the qualifying session that we want to pay attention here. Andrew Rahimbayev sitting inside the garage, very solidly inside the number 30 of MBO Honda. There's only 19 cars left in this field right now. Well, basically 13 of them will be knocked out, unfortunately, after this qualifying basically the qualifying races to make way for the 22 cars that have actually qualified in this race.
Well, let's just hope for the best for whoever here is involved, and we'll see who fortune favors.
Okay, so right now, as you can see here, from that we're going to take a look into how much the sun has dropped right now. As you can see, the sun is really setting here, basically here in Fuji, so meant for a great scenic view, as basically the yellowish lights basically shine through these race cars. As what one said, it is very beautiful and aesthetically pleasing to see.
And now it's not getting dimly with the community car.
Yes, the Koyori car, but you need to mic up. I cannot hear you that much.
Yeah, he got the Hakui Koyori car. Okay, it's going pretty fast in the lane right here. Very solid turn. Let's get another one.
Wait for it. But actually, we need to mention that he's currently on a warm-up. Like, he hasn't started his hot lap just yet. Well, we need to mention to you guys once again, qualify in the top 6 and finish in the you need to finish in the top 6 to make it into the main race. But of course, you need to qualify inside the top 6 to have the best chance of making it into the main race. So obviously, here we see Zeke Kimberly starting his lap. So Zeke, let's see how your car basically handles around this proof facility.
I'm rooting for B. More importantly, however, though, again, fortune favors different people at different times, so we'll see my lap times and all, and maybe I'll do good, maybe I'll do bad. It's just a roll of the dice.
Yeah, basically roll the dice and all that stuff.
Well, I'll get back, to my car maybe in a little bit, but I guess I'm doing alright as of current. We'll see how everything goes. The qualifying is still young.
Yeah, basically midway into this qualifying session, excuse me, 1-1. So right now, basically, we're seeing the first lap times emerging with Alex Rand. Let's see. He's doing very decently as well, and I can see here Wimble is only slightly faster than Grant at the moment, but that we'll have to wait on some of the other drivers here as well. As you can see, Wimble is actually very solid there, but Ben Ripton also ripping it into the racetrack. Maybe we'll see Ben Ripton basically showing his muscles inside the qualifying races once again.
As we can see, Pollard, Live, and Snooks also completed their laps, I think. And we're now expecting Ripton. He is from British, and I think... Who is he representing again? Africa?
Look, you see the Sakamoto Kui name on the hood and the number 96 car, basically Ben Ripton. So yeah.
Okay, Ben Ripton is representing Sakamoto Chloe. Just warming up. I hope... Yeah, I'm also kind of rooting for Ben Ripton as well. I don't know, something tells me he's gonna make it.
And right now, Scottish has a very slow provisional lap time of 45.249, but Zeke Wimberley also showing good amount of pace as well. Solid first, second, and third sectors. Andrew Rakimbayev sets the fastest lap time at the moment here so far. He's looking to punch his way into the main race, and right now, he has the best seat in the house.
I never got a chance to talk about Ripton, but, qualifying's original qualifyings, but, you gotta really shine in the counts, you know. I've seen, people that did really bad qualifying do absolutely stunning in the main race, and then I've seen cases where people did really good in qualifying fall behind, so, I'd just like to see where this will lead.
And right now we're looking into basically a few more drivers completing their lap time. One air completes his lap time. He currently qualifies inside the top 6. Daniel Bolotin having a very decent first sector, but off in the second sector. Daniel Bolotin inside 7th with the fastest third sector. Thomas Nukes gets into the top 6 as well. It's going to be a very competitive qualifying session, and we'll only have the final 2 minutes of qualifying left before the qualifying race. Here's Hans-Heinrich Heinz. Only qualifying outside the top 6. Bazinga as well. Look at Wawan Suharto. 141.916. Basically, saddest lap time done set by Andrew Himbayev and Wawan Suharto. And Raji Kaczynski. So Wawan, that's a very good lap time there.
Thank you. I did not expect my car to be in the first place, but I can't celebrate yet because it's gonna be overtaken by any time.
Ben Ripton hasn't improved just yet. Meanwhile, we want to take a look at some of the other drivers here as well. As you can see here, Raji Kaczynski has already have the fastest second sector so far. Purple second sector. Meanwhile, Tim Eno have a very solid first, but definitely lacks in the second sector. Remember, the second sector has a lot of corners, and the sector 1 at the end of it has a long at the back straight in it. So Tim Eno about to finish his lap time. Let's see where his lap time stands. It won't be enough for him to get inside 6, but we'll have to wait and see. Raji Kaczynski peels in, as does Jeff Clark. Matej Juan Deporto showing a lot of pace as well. Deporto only gets up to 16th. A very not so promising second sector. Bonner with a fastest second sector. Now Bump gets up to 7, so he's now the first guy out. On the outside looking in, we see Daniel Bolotin and Thomas Snook fiddling into the pit. They are both outside the top 6. Hans-Heinrich Heinz in 17th right now. Let's see where he places himself. 15.
Well, it appears my sectors aren't going as well as others, but again, roll of the dice, and it seems I lost that chance, but to qualifying again, I've seen shoot-ups and shoot-downs, you know?
Yeah, right now...
Well, continue.
Okay, so right now we're seeing the last few guys complete their lap times. Alex Bowen finish her time in the qualifying session. We have 6 drivers left in the field right now. Deporto is also looking very solidly in the first and second sectors, losing out just the 3/10 on the first and only losing 900s in the second sector. TS1 Porto is gonna try to make a name for himself, representing Tsunamaki Watame in the number 3 Lexus. Hanzari Heinz also looking very solidly in the second sector. Let's see how much time he has compared to the Porto. Hanzari Heinz having maximum lap times with the Porto, but let's see how they can make it in sector 3. Here, sector 3 is where the Lexus can absolutely struggle due to its long back straight nature. Gets at the 13, has a better chance to make it into the main race than everyone else. Hanzari Heinz is basically the last guy out. And here's Alex Bowen in the number 08 Shirogane Noah Lexus. And as you can see here, Hanzari Heinz into the pit. That's the qualifying session over. Alex Bowen doesn't improve on her lap time, though she has set her personal best third sector. And that is basically the qualifying session over for the qualifying race. So we're gonna skip over into the basically into the qualifying races. So I want to hear your thoughts, basically all of your guys' thoughts heading into the main race so far.
Oh wow! I did not expect my own car to be in the first place. That was, well, I was just mesmerized, you know. And for the others, well, nice try. I hope you'll get a better chance next time. How about you, Zeke?
Well, it seems I'm a little bit aggressive. As seen, I usually get a really low place, and then I take someone out of the race with me. So
we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see.
That's what happened last time.
Yeah, that's what happened last time in the qualifying races. So we'll have to pay attention to the start line. So meanwhile, it was hard to sending the fastest lap time of the qualifying session for the qualifying races, 1:41.916. Raji Gazinski again on the front row in the qualifying races. Let's see if he can make it into the main races once again. And Joachim Bayev in a solid position in third place in the Okami Honda. Wolf and Fox in the second row as Richie Rock qualifies fourth in the Shirakami Fuji Nissan, following from him. Daniel Bauer in the Yodoramel Lexus in fifth. Basically, last time out, he was the race winner in Suzuka. Let's see if he can make it into the main race once again. Alex Grant, number 57, Americana Nissan. Let's see what he can do. Bon Air in the number 7, Nasuri Matsuri Lexus, first guy out. And then we have Tim Indo, Omar Boka Nissan, and Thomas Milks in the Shishiro Botan Lexus. And then Olatev in the Tokoyami Toa Honda. Alex Bowen in the Shirogane Noah Lexus. Cybertrain Negatin in the Yukihana Lami Honda. Mateus Wandapordo in the Tsunamaki Watami Lexus. Ricky Contreras in the Lapless Darkness Honda. Jeff Clark, Nakayama Lexus qualifies 15. Zeke Wimberly needs to basically take it easy in the start in the number 54 Akui Koyori Nissan. And then in the Ultra Sport Lexus, Hanzari Heinz basically made it to the main race last time. Let's see what he can do from 17. As does Tony Bazinga and Ben Ripton for the Kazama Iroha and Sakamata Chloe respectively. Ben Ripton had a very solid qualifying race last time by. Let's see what he can do from basically being at the back of the grid. So we're gonna get this transition over with, and we're gonna see basically multiple cars out on track. And as you can see here, it's a very sunny day here in Fuji. The sun is slowly setting. Wawan Suarto on the front row. Raji Kaczynski is second. Rakim Bayev not behind him. The race gets underway. And as you can see here, Raji Kaczynski having a very solid start here. He instantly assumes the race lead. Wawan Suarto has something to say about it. Well, here comes Andrew Rakim Bayev trying to challenge the top two runners as he basically consolidates third place. Daniel Bauer holds on to fourth. Look at Richie Rod. Richie Rod basically lost the position to Daniel Bauer. Bon Air is up to 6th. Alex Bowen up to 8th. Alex Grant trying to battle side by side with Alex Bowen. The two Alexes, they make contact and collects Daniel Pilates and spins out. And here is Alex Grant's chance of making it into the main race out of it. It's basically as Alex Grant spins out of Coca-Cola corner. And you can see that's a Mango PP Tenshi car. That's Alex Grant. Chances making it to the main race up in smoke. As we can see here, more battles here at the moment. Raji Kaczynski leads, Lawrence Hartle second, Rakim Bayev third, Bauer fourth, Air fifth, Rod sixth, and Inno 7 out, going in, guys down the inside of Tim Inno, then Walt at 9. Snooks runs out the top 10.
Oh, we're off to a crazy start here. As you can see, the car is crashed. Okay, there's another contact here. Nothing too severe. But wow, if this is the starting here is already crazy, I don't know what's gonna happen. Who's gonna win, who's gonna crash, who's gonna get the commission. And we'll just have to wait and see.
And right now, Tony Bazinga trying to go around the outside. He's all over Ben Ripton, but he has a very solid chance here into the back, into basically the main straight. Here we see a lot of passes here with Asmus have a severe straight line advantage over the Lexus. Juan Suharto diving down the inside of Ryan Kaczynski for the race lead. Let's see what Juan Suharto has to offer against the doctor. The succubus doctor right now. They're still side by side. What was Suharto? Rajinski still side by side. This could end in tragedy as they get into turn 4, and Juan Suharto just leaves him enough room. Juan Suharto consolidates the race lead, but Rajinski has something to say about it. What a massive battle for the race lead this one. They're still side by side. Rajinski and Juan Suharto. Suharto defending the inside from Kaczynski. Rahim Baez not far behind in third place. And then the Bolotev and Alex Bowen also fighting side by side.
Yeah, that was really intense competition from Juan Suharto and Kaczynski. It's really crazy. Yeah, their two are going at it like, bro, never seen something intense like this before.
Well, right now we're about to see Quimberly trying to defend the outside line from Jeff Clark, but Jeff Clark has the inside line. He'll try to attack Tree Nicholson right now, and then Bolotev is overtaking Alcoa once again. There's just so many battles left, right, instead of heading into sector 3. Then Bolotev into turns 13 and 14. As you see, Alex Bowen going very wide there to have the best exit possible. He gets cut off, and now Thomas Nukes is in the mix.
Well, it appears we got a little Congo going on our hands, both in the back and in the front. Battles happening left and right. Warring Tribe period right now going into the first only 2 laps of the race. Nope, 3 laps, my bad. But truly a very interesting start and already had a spin out.
Yeah, right now we kind of have a spin up with Alex Duran, but he's still in it at the moment. And Rohim Bayev making the pass for Ryan Kaczynski for second place. Hans Heinz makes the pass on Ricky Contreras. Tony Bazinga makes the double pass on the Ben Ripton. And Zeke Wimberly right now. Zeke Wimberly has to lose out on that battle right now, but he'll have a chance to basically fend off Ben Ripton, and he takes 17th place. Remember, there's a pit strategy that we need to talk about. But let's see who's going to have to pit once and who basically miscalculated on a fuel again to pit for a second time, unfortunately. But meanwhile, there's more side-by-side battles. I mean, we're still on lap 3, and to see this much racing, what a blessing that we're having here at the moment.
Yeah, we see Tony Bazinga carding from the inner lines. Wait, no.
Inside. He's currently on the inside.
It's on the inside, okay. Oh, a little bit of rough turn there. Kind of expected.
As you can see here, Trinidad holding on to the outside of Bazinga. They're into a very solid defense, a battle of basically trading offense and defense. You can see here, Bazinga again going off wide. He will now be under pressure from Zeke Wimberly. Zeke Wimberly in the Hakui Koyori car. Basically making advantage of Bazinga's mistake to basically get up to 16. Or does he? There could be a bit of contact, but right now everyone comes off cleanly. Zeke Wimberly has a very solid exit there off of the final turn. He has a long main straight to basically make use of it. And now Zeke Wimberly peels it into the inside of Secretary Nigaton for a move into 15th place. But let's see if Nigaton has anything to say about it.
Well, clearly, my car, my driving style, it appears I'm a little bit on the aggressive side. I'm a bit reckless, to say the least, but I guess recklessness kind of pays off sometimes, huh?
Recklessness pays off indeed for Zeke Wimberly. Obviously, Now obviously Hakui Kori is also sometimes quite feral. We've seen this in some of her 3D lights where she can be a bit iffy and feral, as we can mention here. It's not that she can be tame, sometimes she can be feral. And this time Ziggy is showing his feral side. Hangs out for Hakui Kori and basically her fan base and all that stuff. As the race now finally calms down on lap 4 of this race, but meanwhile there is another side-by-side battle between the last place runners as Alex Grant gets up to 17th place. Here's the battle for the silver spoon between Tony Bazinga and Ben Ripton.
Here we see Ben Ripton. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Nope, continue.
Okay. Ben Ripton really... Oh, he's going a little bit off track. And he got overtook. Okay. He's going to make another turn here. Went almost off track, but he keeps with composure. Oh, a little bit of contact. He went off track and he secures the 18th place.
He secures the 18th place, but how much longer is Tony Bazinga has the straight line speed in that Nissan. Meanwhile, there's a side-by-side battle between Bon Air and Richie Rod, as well as Daniel Bauer and Roger Kuzinski. Another Chocomel battles on our hands as Daniel Bauer shows his place inside the top 6 to make sure he gets himself into the main race. Richie Rod as well, showing his fellow Gen 1 mate Bon Air that he has the pace. So obviously very good showing of racing here in Fuji here as we're finishing the first 4 laps of this race. We're currently in lap 5. We still have a few ways to go until we'll get this race over with. And as you can see here, Bon Air trying to catch up to Richie Rod, but he doesn't have much to say about it. So, okay, let's take a bit of a relaxation here at the moment as we'll be waiting until we see the first movement in the pit lane.
It's not very relaxing going near the back, though. I consistently see Ripton and Bazinga fighting on who just decides to take last place. It seems to settle down, but earlier I did see those two fighting ferociously for 18th place. It seems Ripton has secured 18th though. Let's see if he has the keen eye to take 17.
And right now in the battle for, this could be a battle for the race lead here at the moment, and Rahim Bayev trying to tuck in behind Wawan Suharto. Slipstream in that Nissan, well obviously he's too far back. Richie Rod and Raja Kaczynski now battling hammer and Tom. Raja Kaczynski might just be able to respond. Let's see if he makes the audacious dive bomb down the inside. The answer is no, as Richie Rod consolidates 4th place and Raja Kaczynski continues to fall down the order. He started 2nd, he's now down to 5th. And with Bon Air and Tim Eno basically ahead of it, there's another battle here between Thomas Snooks and Alex Bowen. Thomas Snooks has overtaken Alex Bowen for 9th place, but Alex Bowen might have something to say about it. She dives down the inside, thinks better off. It's now under pressure from Hines. Zeke Wimberly and Alex Grant also battling for position. As you see, Alex Grant gets back up to 15th place.
Position back, please. More importantly, however, though, a lot of battles happening around midfield. I'm pretty sure those will settle down really quickly, though. It seems everyone's just trying to secure their spot right now. Everyone's really on defense right now instead of offense. But we'll see where that goes on. I'm sure things will get a little bit more heated within a lap or two.
Okay, so we're also going to need to pay attention on another few bits of proceedings here. And right now we're taking a look into some of the other battles here with, let's say, Anwar Himbayev and Bowen Suharto. Now Himbayev is really tucking in behind the Indonesian. Obviously this is a battle for the race lead. The 30 and the 20 have been pretty solid in Fuji in round 1 of the Japan series back last March, but obviously Himbayev is too far back to make any meaningful moves. We know that they only have 0.07 of a second between them. Basically, the pace difference between that Nissan and Honda. So, yeah, we may need to watch out on this battle as the race continues to progress. And right now, we're seeing Raja Kaczynski being overtaken by Bon Air. Raja Kaczynski is losing a lot of pace and fast. And right now, Tim Eno's not far behind. Only 6 seconds between himself and the spot into the main race there, Tim Eno.
Okay, Eno. Okay, Eno is 7th place. Okay, so Eno is finally in the 7th place. Oh, Kaczynski's Hololive is closing in. I think I can really see very clear from this angle.
Hang on,
okay,
I will try to adjust the screen at the moment. Hopefully you guys can see better, although this will come at a cost. So yeah, right now Tim Eno is holding on to 7th place right now. And Molotov, Thomas Snooks, Alex Bowen, and Heinz are not far behind. So watch out for them, as they might be able to make a move. Let's see what's the pace difference between Kaczynski and Eno. Let's see if Eno can have a chance to make it in and sneak it in into the main race.
I have full faith in just about everyone that they can improve their positions and defend them with utmost certainty. Holo GT3 chaotic. You never know what's really gonna happen next. So whether securing a spot into the main race or just an amazing defense that lasts for laps and laps, it's interesting to see, and it'll be especially interesting to see for the battle for the hot seat.
Okay, so right now we'll be taking a look into Alex Bowen trying to make a dive down the inside of Tyrick Heinz. Goes for a Sparta car versus the Shiro car and Nola car. The Nola car's on the inside of the Sparta car on the outside. Exiting turn 1, Alex Bowen might have just the nose ahead on Heinz, but they're still side by side into turn 3 and into Coca-Cola corner. This could end in tears. Alex Bowen goes a bit wide on Tyrick Heinz. Both of them keeps their cars clean and safe. They're still side by side into a long right-hander turn 5 and into turn 6. Tyrick Heinz and Alex Bowen still going at it.
Reza, if you don't mind, can you check the commentators' discussion for a moment?
Okay, I will check to see what is happening. Okay, don't worry. Wawan, if you have issues at the moment, you may just be able to take your leave. At the moment, you can see here, Tyrick Heinz lifting off just a bit. So, yeah. So, obviously, Wawan, we'll see if you can consolidate this race win. If you have anything to do, if you have something to do, you may just be able to get out early. So, wishing you the best of luck for the remainder of this race, Wawan.
I think he left. Yeah. Well, I kindly ask that you kind of zoom in. I can't really see what's really going on from this angle. My apologies.
Okay, so right now we're gonna try to change the windows again to see if there's anything. Okay, I've switched screens once again. Hopefully it becomes even more crystal clear. And as you can see here, Zig Wimberly trying to get into the inside. No one has entered the pits just yet. I think everyone's gonna try to gamble that they should be not stopping for the remainder of this race. So meanwhile, DePorto and Jeff Clark battling into turn 1 as Dick Wimberly dives down the inside of Tree Nigaton. Three battles side by side here at the moment between both DePorto and Clark and Wimberly and Tree Nigaton. Wimberly has the right side. He has the outside line into Coca-Cola corner. Let's see if he can consolidate it. He has to be ahead. He might still be ahead. He has the nose ahead. He has the nose up. But with that, with the lack of straight cornering speed on that Nissan, as well as the dirty air, Wimberly has to lose out to Tree Nigaton at the moment. So Tree Nigaton consolidates 16th place.
I want that spot back, and I might take it back. I don't know, but it seems that battle is done for now. I guarantee you, next lap, straight line speed might help me out, but that's this place only really has one really big straight for the Nissans to just dominate for the most part. So that's really where you want to do your offense here, Nissan, you know?
Okay, so right now here we see Tyrick Heinz and Thomas Snooks coming at it. Let's see if Tyrick Heinz can have enough of a gap, enough of a distance between himself and Snooks. And right now that is the case at the moment. Tyrick Heinz literally looking to move down the inside. Here comes another battle here between the 43 and the 48. Shishiro Boltan versus Ozora Sputter down the inside of turn 1. As you can see, the sun is definitely setting here in this track right now. And Hans-Henrik Heinz takes 9th place.
Heinz, very skilled driver. It's been shown throughout multiple quote-unquote episodes of Holo GT3, but I'm rooting for him. I'm hoping he gets up a couple places. He just absolutely amazing competitor, hoping in the best.
And currently, we're looking into some of the gaps here at the current gaps here as it stands. Jeff Clark closing in into Mateus Juan de Porter. De Porter is still in 13th place. And Ben Ripton currently consolidating last place, basically kind of karma after dominating the last qualifying race in Suzuka. Ben Ripton will look to finish 35th. Bezinga will look to finish 34th. Wimbledon will look to finish 33rd. Finnegan will look to finish 32nd, and Grant will look to finish 31st as it stands. Clark 30th, DePorter 29th, Contreras 28th, Alex Bourne 27th, Snooks 26th, Heinz 25th, while Lotte 24th, and Endo, if he doesn't make a move immediately, he will be at risk to finish 23rd overall in the race, as Kaczynski and above will be making it into the main race.
Well, I don't think I'm gonna be making it into the main race unless something huge occurs, which might happen. But for now, it's I'm gonna be consolidating my 17th place right now.
17th place, which will be equating into 33rd place, as you will not be qualifying for the main race. So as it stands right now. Oh, here's another battle here between Alex Grant and Jeff Clark. They're now side by side heading into turn 3, which is Coca-Cola corner. And obviously Alex Grant doing very solidly to get himself back up after the spin that he had early on in the race. And right now Clark's giving him a good fight in the IMA Lexus. Let's see what Grant can do to basically continue his comeback up the field.
Grant, the fact he managed to go from last place to 19th to 15th with a extraordinarily wrecked car is very impressive, at least to me. It's kind of like, I believe, Russian Battle, Attack of the Deadman, no?
Yeah, I know. And right now, we're going to be taking a look into some of the gaps at the lead at the moment. It's currently constant between Rakhimbayev and Suharto. Rod is currently holding himself in 4th place. Bon Air 5th. Kaczynski 6th. Endo holding on to 7th place as it stands. Right now, no one is aiming to pit at the moment. Excuse me. Heinz currently in 9th. Snooks currently inside the top 10 for sure. Right now, let's give ourselves a bit of some Hololive information. Right now, we also want to talk about next season of the Hololive GT3 Japan Series. Obviously, the first race will also take place in Fuji, which is actually closest to what should be the venue for the Hololive 4 Festival, which is at Makari Bense Exhibition. As you can see here, Alex Grant and Jeff Clark again side by side. And this time, Alex Grant might just be able to consolidate his position up in 15th place, but like that 14th place. He has the outside line, great defense, but Clark has the arc, the desired arc. He needs to make sure he has the maximum speed in the car. Clark still continues to defend Clark from 14th place.
Well, that's happening. Bazinga and Wimberley currently feuding it out over 17th and 18th right now. Currently it's settled down, but I do see my eye just dropped a place. And looking at the gap, Ripton 0. Oh, and that's a pass right there. Pass again, and Wimberley has the nose over Ripton right now. Oh, it's truly, I believe Ripton Sakamata Chloe is Nissan, correct?
Yeah, right now Wimberley's in the Nissan, Ripton is in the Lexus. Right now Ripton's gonna try to make a move down the inside, but Wimberley wins this battle. Here comes another battle here between Hans-Henrik Heinz and Daniel Bolatev. Watch out for Daniel Bolatev down the inside of Heinz. Daniel Bolatev, takes up a bit of curb there. Launches himself up slightly into the air, and look at Thomas Snooks. Thomas Snooks is now trying to go hammer and Tom side by side with basically Daniel Bolatev. And look at Alex Bowen as well. She's going to try to join into the equation.
Well, it seems we got a, well, I wanted to say a duel, but, three-man duel, essentially. It's gonna be very interesting to see, where this goes, for it. And maybe even a double pass would be, will actually be exceptional to watch, but, this will be, prove interesting. Only, 13 of 22 and 14 of 22. Really depends on who you ask.
Well, as it stands right now, the top 6 are currently keeping their place in check. Bowen looking down the inside. Meanwhile, there's another battle here between Jeff Clark and Alex Grant. Will Alex Grant finally be able to hold on to this position? The answer should be yes, but Jeff Clark has the inside line. Heading into Dunlop corner. The Dunlop chicane. Clark dives down the inside of Alex Grant, diving down the Amane Kanata car. Jeff Clark, you can see here, Jeff Clark manages to successfully defend once again. Jeff Clark having a very wide car against an unstoppable, very fast Nissan on the straights.
Very exceptional work. Quite a defender, if you will, managing to hold siege after siege by Grant. This is truly nice to watch. It's just constant back and forth between those two. I think that's going to happen again within the next couple of laps. And we got another battle right now. Bauer and Rod right now. But it seems they're closing in. I believe Rod has the inside line. Okay. And let's see if he tries to make a dive.
Not yet at the moment. But whatever the case, this is a very good battle here between Daniel Bauer and Richie Rod. Here is a three-wide battle. There's contact between these two cars. Alex Grant, as you can see here, Jeff Clark and Mateus Juan de Porto coming at it. As you can see here, de Porto has been caught up, have been caught unawares by some of the other drivers here. And now Jeff Clark jumps up to 13th place. De Porto is losing positions as he continues in this race. There was a bit of contact between the Porto, Clark, and Grant, but so far all three of these cars continue on without too much of an issue. So good job for them as it stands at the moment. We did mention that Daniel Bauer inside the podium positions, and you can see here Rakim Bayev really closing into Wawan Suharto. Wawan's tires might just be quite worn, and Andrew might just be keeping his tires in check. So Rakim Bayev gonna try to keep the exit as okay as possible. Make sure he's as close as ever heading into the exit of turn 1. Rakim Bayev holding on into his position. And right now, Hines versus Eno. No, nothing fruitful out of this right now. Kaczynski has not caught up to Eno. As you can see here, Daniel Bauer and Richie Rod coming at it again, side by side. The 22 and the 66. And now this time, Richie Rod having a very solid exit, dives down to protect from Daniel Bauer. Daniel Bauer not close enough, too far back against Rod. Rod now consolidates third place.
Well, it seems he finally did his dive. Think of it a lot like revenge. Oh, we got another battle between Contreras and Snooks. I don't think Snooks might be able to recover from this. Yeah, he's, I believe, a little bit too far behind. Clark 0.449 around now. He's aching for more position right about now. He's been one of our top offensive drivers right about now. So I'd love to see where he ends up at the end of this race.
And here is where Rakim Bayev gains over Suharto. You can see Rakim Bayev getting closer to Suharto in this particular section of this racetrack here. Now the gap's down to 0.4 of a second. Now opens up just a bit, heading into turns 15 and 16. Get a good exit off of 16 there, Rakim Bayev, to make sure that you can really close into Juan Suharto. Basically, this qualifying race, the win basically doesn't mean anything, as basically you will be having to qualify once again for the main race. But you can see here the straight line advantage of the Nissan is completely apparent from here.
I got a quick question. Has anyone pitted? I swear I haven't seen anyone in the pit lanes.
No one has pitted so far, and right now there could be some thing absolutely crazy going on. There could be someone who might just calculate the fuel way too lightly and basically have not enough fuel to run the end race. But we'll see who makes that miscalculation. But right now, as it stands, everyone is holding on to their horses.
It seems Cold War. Oh, but never mind. The Cold War just got a bit hotter. Bowen and Snooks fighting it off. Seems to be a nope. I was about to say neck and neck. Thomas Snooks losing position left and right. I'm hoping he can hold 12th place all right now, but the way things are going, it's gonna be a desperate defense.
It will be provisional 28 for Thomas Snooks at the moment. As you can see, Jeff Clark getting very close there to Thomas Snooks. It's pretty clear that he has a short run car and not a long run car. Jeff Clark is now hot on the heels of Thomas Snooks as he's trying to catch up into the Shishiro Botan car. Meanwhile, as we're about to see Daniel Bauer trying to close up into Richie Rod as well. No one has pitted so far. The gap has closed in. As you can see here, Nissan's occupied the first and third right now. The next Nissan is Tim Eno in 7th. One Honda will make it into the main race by qualifying races. And then there is also the Lexus cars in 4th, 5th, and 6th. Now you can see here the lap time differences between Rahimbaev and Suharto is only 0.07 of a second, so there's literally nothing between them. Here we see Benrith and Zeke Wimberley going side by side.
Well, like Snooks, I'm losing positions left and right as well. It seems my driving's just too reckless as it appears I am now scraping the barrel, it seems. 19th place, last place overall. Man, it kind of sucks over here, huh?
Meanwhile, there's another battle here between Contreras and Balatev, as well as there's contact! Jeff Clark and Alex Grant. Alex Grant got spun out once again in this race, and this time he's out of it entirely.
Huh. What do you know? Well, it seems whenever I finish saying things, stuff just happens, it seems. Well, I guess I'm not going to be dead last, and it seems I also just overcame Ripton. It seems I'm going to have...
And Daniel Bauer! Daniel Bauer has also rolled over, as we've seen, as what happened in basically Split B. As what happened in Split B last time by. He took too much curve, Daniel Bauer. That makes it 2 retirements. And Daniel Bauer, who we thought was actually going to cruise into the main race, is now out of it entirely.
I swear I saw his car on fire and at least a little bit.
Yeah, his car has been seen is a bit on fire. As you can see, he's over revving the car, trying to get his car out. But in doing so, he overstressed the engine, and that caused the fire to occur. It's a very tough luck for Alex Grant and Daniel Bauer, especially for Daniel Bauer. Daniel Bauer, again, was in a solid position to qualify into the main race and is now out of it entirely. And now, Tim Eno, for the second qualifying race in a row, will luck his way into the main race.
Well, it seems this is just one hell of a coincidence. The fact that he managed to get into the hot seat by somehow that accident is just damn lucky.
Damn lucky for the second time in as many qualifying races as we've had at the moment. Just absolutely insane here. The race is currently turning on its head. Now Tim Eno, who was on the outside looking in, is now on the inside looking out. So right now Tim Eno is in a position to qualify in the main race, unless Hans Heinrich has anything to say about it, but he's now losing just a smidge of a touch to Tim Eno.
Well, we got about 4 laps left, and every lap counts, as it can show right here with 2 participants shaking outside the race right now. It seems to just be a Cold War at the moment. No real battles are happening, but I'm sure that the Cold War will heat up very soon.
The Cold War heating up indeed, and to mention here, it's currently quite freezing here as the sun is slowly setting here in Shizuoka. And right now, we won't be seeing much battles here at the moment. Ben Ripton trying to lock into a position with Zeke Wimberly. Tony Bazinga trying to consolidate 15, Tree Nickerton also 14. Deporto again trying to consolidate whatever he has at the moment as we're about to get into the final stages of this race. You see here Rod holding on third place again in his second qualifying race. He's doing very decently as well. But meanwhile, Andrew Rakhimbayev trying to pile in the pressure onto Suharto for the race lead.
The battle for first place, amazing defense from both, I'm gonna butcher this, I'm sorry, Rakhimbayev and Suharto. Very just cool to just watch, you know. Suharto seems to have the upper hand though, and has for the last like couple laps, and well, more than a couple laps actually. But things could definitely have a change of heart very, very soon.
And right now, as they're about to approach the final two turns, and they're about to start lap 23 laps to go here in this qualifying race, Rakhimbayev trying to be hot on the heels of Suharto, but he's not close enough. His best chances are basically not on the main straight, of which the Nissan can basically run away with things. As you can see here, Ben Ripton getting very close into Zeke Wimberly, but he's not close enough. Tony Bazinga also doing very solidly inside 15th place, but it won't be enough for him, as does Daniel Bolate. But for Tim Eno, it might be enough. As you can see, Daniel Bolate's right side absolutely damaged.
Well, kind of off topic, but it seems the bottom four is still racing right now. Currently, basically have a split of their own. There is like no hope at all to end up anything over 14th, as currently 14th gap is about 17 seconds.
Yeah, you're right. The border and Trinidad's gap 17 seconds. So they are basically the bottom four remaining cars to basically make it into race. There has to be a miracle, but that miracle is not coming in anytime soon. Hines is losing touch to Tim Eno. Tim Eno just needs to keep the car steady, and right now Tim Eno holding on to whatever he can, and so right now he's slightly under pressure from Hans-Henrik Heinz here. The gap has now closed down to only 0.4 of a second. The battle for the final transfer spot might just be hot.
Maybe. It doesn't seem like anyone's really making a move right now, but we still got another 2 laps to go. Well, maybe it's just about to warm up, but it seems all that's happening is that they're just getting closer and closer, just waiting for that perfect time to strike.
And right now, Hans-Henrik Heinz is definitely closing in into Tim Eno. Tim Eno is definitely struggling into the corner, especially in Sector 3. This is where the Lexus cars absolutely shine in Sector 3. But with the main straight up and coming soon, Hans-Henrik Heinz will need to try to limit the damage as much as he can. Gets a good exit there, but it might not be enough. As you can see that the Nissan's running away with it on the straights.
Man, it's just a constant back and forth. Heinz just keeps getting closer and closer during the straights, and then Tim Eno just keeps on blazing off. Wait, hold on, I think I mixed those up on accident. Oh well, you get the idea.
Yeah, basically, Tim Eno basically finding a buffer on the straights, but Hans-Henrik Heinz closing in basically in the corners. That's the narrative here at the moment here. We're about to get into the penultimate lap of this race. Suharto and Rakhimbayev are still only 5/10 within each other, Richie Rod and Bon Air for... Well, we need to mention here that it will be all Gen 1 members except Daniel Bauer, as Vladislav Domashnev and Anthony Eminel have qualified into the race by speed alone. And here we see Hans-Henrik Heinz definitely being the closest as he's ever been to Tim Eno, so watch out for this final transfer spot.
They're gonna crash. Nah, I'm kidding, but it seems that Tim Eno, unless he can just holding off for just a little bit longer.
On the inside. He does on the inside. Hans-Henrik Heinz.
He did not hold off for a little bit longer. Okay, well, it seems Heinz has potentially overtaking Inno, but it's a very back and forth battle right now.
But let's see if he can manage to defend it. This is the final transfer spot that we're looking for. 6 or higher is what you need to qualify into the main race. The final lap has just started with Juan Suardo already exiting turn 1. But let's see what Tim Inno can do to catch up to Hans-Henrik Heinz. The gap is only 7 tenths of a second. Will Tim Inno make the surprise dive on down the inside?
Maybe. It's definitely possible. Straight, it just keeps on expanding. It seems that it's gonna be a yes. Tim Inno overtakes Heinz right now, but that victory could be very short-lived. Seems Heinz is close enough that he could definitely make a move within the next couple turns.
And right now, Tim Inno is inside the cut line here at the moment, but let's see if he can have a very good exit off of what looks to be turn 6 into basically the long right-handers of turn 4 and 5. We're gonna take a look at the Hans-Henrik Heinz with due interest at the moment. Hans-Henrik Heinz goes down the inside. Tim Inno definitely struggles in the corner. Look at Hans-Henrik Heinz on the inside of turn 5. Now side by side into turn 6, exiting turn 6. Hans-Henrik Heinz has the nose.
Well, it seems, yeah, it did take a couple of turns to just make a difference. You know, only like about 7 tenths of a second, I believe, was. You said all of that came down to nothing when Heinz smashed Inno's chance of getting into the main race.
Smiling go for Juan Suardo. Only this main straight basically defies him in a race win. Juan Suardo makes it into the main race by winning this qualifying race. Rahim puts up a good fight. In second, Richie Rod third, Bon Air fourth, Raja Kaczynski fifth. But here's the battle that we want to take a look into. Hans-Henrik Heinz manages to keep the car in one piece, manages to keep his car intact, and have the pace at the end to overtake Tim Inno on the final 2 laps and into the final lap. That last lap pass was enough for Hans-Henrik Heinz to qualify into the main race.
Truly, like I said before, Heinz absolutely stunning opportunist and performer managed to secure his way into the main race during the final lap. Kudos to you.
Kudos to him indeed for Hans-Henrik Heinz that he clutched up near the end, basically channeling his Ozora Subaru energy. He did his best, just like how Ozora Subaru kind of did her best by making her cover of the song Do My Best. And right now, here are the last drivers out there. Tony Bazinga, Zeke Wimberly, and Ben Ripton, the last cars out there, also representing Hololive. They'll at least consolidate basically finishing positions where they actually finish the races.
At least I'm not last.
You're not last again. That is the mantra that we all carry. And Juan Suardo, your winner here in the qualifying races. I'm gonna need to reiterate this again. It's Juan Suardo, Andy Rakhimbayev, Richie Rod, Bon Air, Raja Kaczynski, and Hans-Henrik Heinz qualifying into the main race. So we're going to need to basically get the results page underway. Juan Suardo, your winner here in Fuji for today in Saturday. And Rakhimbayev in the number 3 Okami Mio Honda will finish, will basically make it the main race, as well as Richie Rod. Nissan 1-3, good job for them. Bon Air 4, Raja Kaczynski manages to hold off in the end. And Hans-Henrik Heinz with that clutch run in 6th place manages to qualify inside the main race. Tim Inno had the car, had the position until the final 2 laps. He ends up finishing 7th. Ricky Contreras 8th, Daniel Bolotev 9th, Alex Bowen 10th. They will be basically these are the other guys who will not be making it into the main race. Thomas Snooks, Jeff Clark, Matthias Wonderport, Simon Trinigan, Tony Bazinga, Zeke Wimberly, Ben Ripton, Daniel Bauer, and Alex Grant. These are the guys who will not make it to the main race, but especially heartbreak for Daniel Bauer. He was inside the top 6, then he had his rollover.
Well, that was truly an interesting spectacle, but it seems just some just pull ahead and some just don't. Man, freaking this bike is so wonky.
So we need to take a look into Daniel Bauer and see what happened to him. So let's take a look into the replays. Here's Daniel Bauer trying to chase Richie Rod. They were battling for fourth, basically battling for the final podium position. Let's see what happened to Daniel Bauer. As you can see,
is that part of the laws of physics or something?
yeah, he basically hopped onto the curb way too much and then over-revved the engine and just destroyed it. And then, but that's not the only incident. But that's not the only incident, because you also want to take a look into the battle between Alex Grant and Jeff Clark. As you can see, Alex Grant also wants to try to make a move into the inside of Thomas Snooks here. Oh, Jeff Clark makes the dive bomb on Alex Grant, damages his suspension, and that's basically his race over with. So again, 2 incidents in 1, honestly. So let's take a look again into Jeff Clark, especially the onboard. Let's see the onboards once again.
Man, he just did not hesitate to just push him over. Truly a callous move by Jeff
he thought that there was a gap. He thought that there was a gap, but the gap was he just vanished. Meanwhile, at the same time, let's look at Daniel Bauer here as they're about to get into the Dunlop corner. Here is where Daniel Bauer made his mistake. He clouded the curb on the second part of the Dunlop chicane. This is what you cannot do. You can see here, it's just quite high. And see, that launched his car, put his car aside, and then he made his mistake of basically pedaling the throttle until the engine's pretty much destroyed. As you can see.
My apologies for, I think I just foreshadowed like that 2 rounds prior, so my apologies to Daniel Bauer for that.
Yeah. A bit of a sad moment for Daniel Bauer to basically not being able to make it into the race, So that is basically the race over. Just to run you over on who manages to qualify into the main race, it is basically in Split A, we have Lorenzo Ricci, Anthony Emanuel, and then we have Andrew Tacoslet, Yosor Hernandez, Mama Shazin Reza, and his brother Shakif Reza, Sean Pauly, and Jake Fox. And in Split B, we have Hofu Mikey, Zohara Leo, Alikan Astor, Vlasla Damashev, Aquamarine Jensen, Callum Gibbons, Sergei Petrov, and of course Katrin Vasiliev. And now we want to add in Wawan Suharto, and then we have Andrew Rahimbayev, and then we have Richie Rod once again. Very solid stuff between these drivers. Again, there's literally nothing between these drivers sometimes, and you can see very close battles as well. And then we have Bon Air, Raja Gonzinski, and then the clutch move by Hans-Heinrich Heinz. What an amazing drive that was today.
Truly an interesting spectacle to watch. A lot of ups and downs and 2 spinouts, and it's crazy.
Yes, we'll be updating everyone on the drivers who have qualified on the Adak-RMS Twitter. That is where we'll be seeing a lot of updates and storylines heading into about Hololive GT3. Of course, we're not affiliated with Cover Corporation. So, obviously, head on to our Twitter to see all the updates regarding the series. And with that out of the way, we'll be seeing you tomorrow for the main race in Hololive GT3. I am Mama Shadrin Reza, and alongside me is Zeke Wimberly in the commentary booth. And you've been watching the Hololive GT 2022 Hololive GT3 Japan Series postseason.